For instance, you get young guys, girls, coming up and they write a beautiful song and they don't own it and they don't have anything to do with it, and anyone who wants can just rip it off. I mean, the truth is the money's going somewhere, and it gets on the streaming platforms. Somebody's getting it.
Paul McCartney, the living legend, the songwriter who changed the world, has never been one to shy away from a fight. And now, at 82, he's taking on what might be his biggest battle yet, protecting the future of music from artificial intelligence. In a recent interview with the BBC, Sir Paul opened up about his concerns over AI and its impact on young artists. McCartney isn't against AI, far from it. He's already used it to help restore John Lennon's voice for the Beatles Now and Then, a track that turned an old demo into a Grammy-nominated song. But what he's not okay with: tech giants profiting off the work of artists without giving them a dime. The timing of McCartney's statement isn't random. The UK government is currently considering changes to copyright laws that could weaken protections for artists, allowing tech companies to train AI models on music without the creator's permission, unless they specifically opt out.
Because if it gets a bit like the Wild West, then the people who created these copyrights don't benefit. And I think that takes away a lot of incentive, because when we were kids in Liverpool, we found a job that we loved, but it also paid the bills. So it allowed us to be creative, more and more creative, go out in the world and bring joy to people and stuff. So it allowed us to do that.
What do you think the risk is for the next generation of musicians coming through?
So, for instance, you get young guys, girls, coming up and they write a beautiful song and they don't own it and they don't have anything to do with it, and anyone who wants can just rip it off. I mean, the truth is the money's going somewhere, and it gets on the streaming platforms. Somebody's getting it, and it should be the person who created it. It shouldn't just be some tech giant somewhere. Somebody's getting paid. So why shouldn't it be the guy who sat down and wrote yesterday?
Paul McCartney also spoke about using artificial intelligence himself, as he and Ringo Starr used AI in 2023 to extricate John Lennon's vocals.
Yeah, I get that, and I think AI is great and it can do lots of great things. As you say, we took an old cassette of John's and cleaned his voice up so it sounded like it's just been recorded yesterday. So it has its uses, but my worry is in this rip-off area.
Elton John has backed Paul McCartney over his criticism towards AI and proposed changes to copyright law. Speaking in an interview on Sunday with Laura Quinsberg, the former Beatles member spoke out against the proposed changes, saying they could remove the monetary incentive for artists to create work and cause a loss of creativity. He said, "You get young guys, girls coming up and they write a beautiful song and they don't own it and they don't have anything to do with it. And anyone who wants can just rip it off." He continued, "We're the people, you're the government. You're supposed to protect us. That's your job. So, if you're putting through a bill, make sure you protect the creative thinkers, the creative artists, or you're not going to have them."